Hey guys, it's me, Barb, and I'm here today to help you make sense of your Paragon board in Diablo 4 with a quick and easy guide. Now, I don't know about you, but when I first got to level 50 on my first character in Diablo 4, and I unlocked that first Paragon point and my Paragon board, it was a little bit daunting. It's a lot of information to take in at once, but once you actually take the time to dig into it, it's not that bad. And there's some simple mistakes that you can avoid making that will really help increase your damage. So without further ado, let's get into our Paragon board. We're going to pull up the abilities, and in here you'll see you have your skill tree, which you're familiar with. You've been going through, you're getting to level 50. You've been messing with this a lot. So let's hop on over to our Paragon board, which is next tab over. And when you get to level 50, you do get that first Paragon point. Now, I have 112. I don't have as many as are possible. I've got like about half of them. And then I have a bunch of glyphs. So when you get here first, you will see one or possibly 21, depending on certain things that we'll get into later. And then you'll get more as you go. And you will see your starting board. And you will get a bunch of glyphs on your character as you do dungeons. They are drops in dungeons. You'll get them a lot. You don't have to worry about hunting those. You'll have them all in no time. And you're going to notice a few things with this starting board. We've got quite a few different things on here. Now, to make the best out of it, you do need to kind of pay attention to what these are as you go. This is your starting node. This tells you this is where you can start placing your points. These red circle ones are where your next point can be placed. So you know, okay, I can stick one here, and you can see you can go up, down, left, and right. You cannot go diagonally. And you have to go in order. You can't just place up here. It won't let you. You can click all you want. Nothing's going to happen. Now, there's a few things to keep in mind as you go. You want to kind of make targets and aim for them as you go through these boards. So we can see here there's a rare node, Brawn, and there's a rare node, Tenacity. That's maximum life and armor. This is physical damage. I care more about that because I'm a barbarian. I want to do big numbers. So we're going to go ahead and start assigning some, and we'll review these different nodes as we get to them through this board. You can see here this is a normal node. Now these can have things like your basic stats, strength. You can see here willpower, dexterity, and int. And as we go further, you see magic nodes. Those can have things like physical damage, armor, maximum life. And you'll see those as you go through. Those are the blue circles. And then we have our glyph socket and our board attachment gate. We'll go over those more as we get to them. So this has a lot of strength going this way. So I know I'm immediately going to take those. And that's going to lead me up to this rare node Brawn. Now, you can see Brawn has a few things about it. Rare node, it's got that yellow outline to it. And it says that I have 214 of 200 strength to activate this bonus requirement it has, which is another 10% physical damage if requirements are met. And that means I have 20% physical damage and 4% maximum life coming from this node, which is great. Now we have a choice to make. Do we want to go this way? Do we want to go that way? Do we want to take them both? Our points are kind of precious at this point because I don't have all the ones we can get. So I'm going to go this way. It doesn't really matter. It's the same either way for this decision, but it will matter later on in your boards. And I'm going to go on up this way. Now, I've gotten up to this normal node. I need to make a choice because I need to get to this glyph socket, right? Do I want to go up and take that int, or do I want to go to the left and take the dexterity? I'm going to go to the left and take the dexterity, and then I'm going to go here, I'm going to take the strength, and I'm going to go here and unlock this glyph socket. Now that the glyph socket is unlocked, I can apply a glyph. Now, in my first glyph socket, I'm using Exploit because it's really good. It gives you vulnerable damage. If you don't know yet, vulnerable damage is great in Diablo 4, especially for barbarians. I try to put vulnerable damage on everything I can. So, let's stick Exploit in the glyph slot. Ta-da! That's how you stick a glyph in a glyph slot. Now, there's a few things on a glyph slot to pay attention to, and before I place that, I should have probably showed you about the radius. I'll show you on another one. You can see all these glyphs say next radius, increase at level whatever. Those are important. So the radius is 3 out from the center. 1, 2, 3. Next, when I get exploit up to level 15, mine is currently level 12, this radius will increase, which increases what is in that radius for activating the requirement. So let's go into activating requirements on glyphs and what it gives you. Now, this says additional bonus. When an enemy is damaged by you, they become vulnerable for 3 seconds. This cannot happen more than every 20 seconds per enemy. That requirement is purchased within radius range, 25 dexterity, requirement not met. But you can see at the top of this glyph, the glyph gives 2.6% vulnerable damage. That's in green. That means we have it activated. And for the socketed glyph, it does say for every 5 dexterity purchased within range, you deal 2.6 increased damage to vulnerable targets. So getting that dexterity in range not only is important for the bonus, but for the glyph itself. So dexterity in range of this glyph is extremely important because it gives us more vulnerable damage. Now, we want to activate that additional bonus, because having that combined with the additional vulnerability damage, the vulnerable targets, my apologies, I should read that properly for you, that's going to add quite a bit of damage for your character. Now, we have a few options here, and you can see what this radius is. This is the radius in which we have to place to get the dexterity for activating this, right? This red. We also have 2 rare nodes in here. We have raw power, which gives physical damage and strength. You can see I'm not meeting the requirement. That doesn't matter so much. If you eventually meet the requirement, that will activate. It's not when you place it. It's at any point in time going forward in the future. And I want to get iron strength because it gives some armor and strength. And you can see the bonus. I don't have that met either yet. But you'll still get the main numbers at the top, the 100 armor and 10 strength, which is good, especially if it's easy to get to. So I'm going to go ahead first and work on the requirements here. So dexterity, it's the one with the 2 hands and a little sword. We're going to grab this bad boy, this bad boy. We're going to go over here. And I think I'll come down here and grab the strength. And this one, we still need 5 more. I'm going to grab this 5% physical damage. This 7 dexterity will definitely get me there. And now you can see my requirement for the additional bonus is activated, which is absolutely fantastic. And you can see also at the top of the glyph socket, it calculates the vulnerable damage that I'm getting from this. So super, super useful. It'll tell you everything on here and calculate it for you. Now that I've activated the additional bonus for my glyph, I'm going to go ahead and start moving on because I now know that I'm going to be getting damage increase because I have vulnerable. I'm getting all these bonuses because I've activated everything. So basically, before you move on, before you go up here, do not pass go, do not collect $200, do not do anything until you've activated this, because there's not going to be benefiting you if you haven't activated it yet, right? So this rare node, it's 2 away. That's easy. We'll grab it. This one's 1 away. We'll grab it. Now, we need to decide, do we want to go up right or do we want to go up left? Here, I'm getting 50 armor. I could grab that, but that's not a huge deal. That's like less than 1/4 of a skull gem, you know? So let's go here because this is physical damage. So we're going to take that, some int, which we don't really care about, some willpower, some more willpower, and now we have reached the board attachment gate. Now, at the board attachment gate, you do get stat bonuses, so 5 strength, int, willpower, and dexterity. We'll go ahead and select that, and then when we select again, we will choose our board. Now that we're getting to choosing boards, I want to mention 2 tools that I like to use, and this is what helps me keep track of my points as I'm going. If I decide to change something, if I have alternate builds, I don't want to have to make all these decisions over again. So I use 2 websites. Now, for keeping track of the build, I use d4builds.gg, which I'll pull over and show you. You can see here's my barbarian starting board, and you're going to see most of these tend to look the same because you really are probably taking exploit and it's putting in your start board and you're activating it. And then you can decide how you're connecting things. You can plot and plan. You can put your gear, your skill tree, your stats, your notes. Super useful. I'm not affiliated, but I love the website. And then the other website that I like is maxroll.gg. I like to look at them for their builds, but especially because they include Paragon boards in their builds. So you can see this is what they've done for their Barbarian Paragon board. Their main board pretty much matches mine. They go here and they took Blood Rage and Martial for the next board. Mine is in different order, it's not there. Then they took Decimator, Warbringer, and Flawless Technique. A little bit different, but you can compare and see what people do and get a good idea to help you make your decisions. And you can figure out what's right for you versus what's right for them. And then you can store it in that d4builds.gg website. Super useful tools. So now that we're going in here, I know for my next board, I do Weapons Master. I need to find Weapons Master. When you go into the board selection, you will see 8 boards. Everyone has these same boards. You don't have to hunt them down, you have them. So that's taken care of for you, don't worry about that. And you can see a summary of each one, the legendary node and its rare nodes that are on that board. But more so than just the summary of it, you want to look at the board itself, because you may or may not even care about the legendary node. Oftentimes you care more about the rare node and the pathing that it takes to get to the next board. And that next board for me being Weapons Master, we can go in here, and here's Weapons Master. And a good example here, legendary node, Weapons Master. Swapping weapons grants you 3 Fury. I don't care about that. I don't even use this node on this board. I like this board because it has a short path from this board to the next and access to the glyph node rather quickly, and rare nodes that I like. So we're going to go ahead and click preview here. When you click preview, it brings your board. Now I mentioned a short path to the glyph socket. That is not short. Oh my goodness. What am I going to do? Oh, look, there's a rotate button. Let's rotate it. Oh, that's a little bit better. Hey, that's a lot of it better. Look at that. Now you can kind of see a rare node, glyph socket, rare node, and that's straight in a beeline to the next board attachment gate. I like that. I don't care about this at all. We're going to lock this gate in. Now, you can see we are going to get these board attachment gate bonuses here when we attach it. And you can see we got both on each side. So that works out really well for us. Now, I would recommend looking at all the rare nodes, the normal nodes, the magic nodes in between. Plot what's going to be mathematically best for you to get the most out of this board, because you only get 225 of these points total, and as you're leveling, you're not going to have a ton of them. So keep in mind, as you do go to get these points, you get, again, the Paragon point each quarter of a level here, and then you will get to a level 100. That should take you to, I think, 200 Paragon points. Every region of the map, you will unlock 4 additional Paragon points, and I will show you here real quick. If you go into rewards, you can see I have claimed them for Fractured Peaks, but I have not claimed them for Dry Steps, Hawazar, Kajikistan, or Slogsglen, which I can never say right. But when I do, I've only claimed 4. I'm going to have an additional 16 coming towards me just from here. Super nice. And then on top of that, you do get Paragon points beyond that from Altars of Lilith. There are 4 that will give you Paragon points, which takes you to the 225. So, absolutely fantastic. Get all of those. I need to grind them out. I need to level more. And when I get to 100 and I finish out my renown, I'll be sitting much prettier on my Paragon board. And that vastly increases your power. So, let's beeline it on over, grab this rare node, grab this glyph socket, grab this rare node, and get to this board attachment gate. So now that I know my goal and where I'm going, we're just going to plop some points in here. Look at that. That's getting a lot easier, right? Now, I'm going to go ahead and stick a point in this rare node. Ta-da. That definitely feels nice. Next, we're going to go ahead and I think I'm going to go here for the strength. Could go there for the willpower, but strength's going to be preferred. Now, in this one, I know that I use the Glyph Marshal. Also, I've been focusing on leveling my glyph exploit, so my glyph marshal is in the level 1 area. You'll see that your glyphs do organize by level first, so highest level down, and then they go alphabetically. So it makes it a little bit easier to find them. So there's Ire, there's Marshall. And we're gonna go ahead and pour level 1 Marshall in here. And to activate Marshall's additional bonus, we need to meet the requirement of 40 strength within radius. And strength are these little fist dudes right here with the spiky energy stuff at the top, the punchy fists. So we need to get ourselves some punchy fists. Coming over this way, I think because I am going to grab iron strength, I'm going to go up because I get strength along the way. There's some willpower, there's some armor. We're gonna grab that and we're gonna go there. I like that because that's gonna lead me over to the next board also. Now we're gonna grab this little bit of strength here, and down over here we need to get some more strength. So I need to come over here to get strength. I can go here and get 5% physical damage, or I could have some willpower there. I'm going to take the 5% physical damage, and we're going to grab this, this, and this. Let's see if we've activated. Ooh, we have not activated yet. So where's our missing fist, you might ask? Right here. And you can see by the red circle, it's the next selectable one, whereas this one without the red circle is gray. We can't select it because it's not connected. So we can grab that one and that will activate us. Let's see if there's any other in range. Just looking through at our options real quick. So we're looking in this red diamond shape, right? So there's willpower, dexterity, armor, willpower. So yeah, we're gonna grab this bad boy right here. And that will have us activated. So you can see we have activated the additional bonus. Now this glyph socket Marshall, you can see it now gives 2.5% physical damage, 12 armor, 1 dexterity, 1 willpower. And after casting a shout skill, the active cooldown of every other shout skill is reduced by 1.2 seconds. So super useful, and it grants 25% bonus to all magic nodes within range. I don't really care so much for that, except that it does give us bonuses to this willpower, this armor, this dexterity, physical damage, and physical damage. So it is a little bit of a bonus to that because anything that is blue is going to be buffed by this. So it does give you a bonus to that, and as you increase your level on your glyph, it will expand this radius, and then it will encompass more nodes as you go forward in the future, such as these if you want to take them as you go on. But I recommend once you activate this, move on, and then you will be able to activate more glyphs. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and we have to decide, do we want the 5 willpower or 50 armor? I'm going to go willpower, and I'm going to beeline it up here to the attachment gate. Now for me, I could come over here and take Hunter Killer, because Hunter Killer gives us damage to elites and movement speed for 4 seconds after killing an elite. But I'm not going to grab this one right now. I'm going to save those extra points because that's a little bit of a path, and I want to get into our next board. And again, you can zoom in and out. It makes it a lot easier. My next board is Decimator. So I'm going to go here. We're going to select. I'm going to find Decimator. And I'm going to select Decimator. And we're going to go ahead and preview Decimator here. We can see the legendary node, the rare nodes, and then I find it best just come here and visualize, rotate the board till it gets you what you want. Now, here's our glyph socket. We can make this better. Let's rotate the board. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So now you can see our glyph socket's much closer. And we have access to rare node here for demolish, and arrogance up here, and we have a nice easy path. We could go here, we could go down here, really whatever you prefer. I'm gonna go up here. So we're gonna attach the board. Now on this board, I know I use disembowel. Let's go here and find disembowel. It's gonna be one of those ones that I haven't really leveled yet because I'm focusing on exploit at the moment. And you can see disembowel's here. So we're going to focus on getting disembowel placed. We'll gain ourselves some nice little bonuses, and we're going to try to make the most efficient path. Now we have to take this because it connects. Remember, we can't go diagonally. And I'm just going to go straight on over and up and over. And then I'm going to beeline it down here. I could go there for the dexterity, but here's willpower. So I'm going to go this way, take the strength, and unlock the glyph socket. Now we got a good view of our board, and we know we're taking disembowel. And you can see here currently its radius size is 3 because it's level 1. Next radius increase at level 15. And then for every 5, oh, my apologies. Yeah, radius size is 3. Goodness, I can't speak straight today, guys. Next radius at level 15, current radius size 3. It is level 1. And then our bonus for this one, every 5 willpower purchased within range, you deal 2% increased bleeding damage, which is great if you're doing a bleeding whirlwind build. And then additional bonus if requirements are met, killing a bleeding enemy has a 10% chance to reduce the cooldowns of your non-ultimate active cooldowns by 1 second. And then that requirement is 25 willpower within range purchase. So let's go ahead and plop that bad boy down. And you can see this 3 radius again that it's talking about. It is 3 from the center, so you don't count the actual center, you just count each way, and it's that red little diamond. Now we want to get some willpower bought within range, so let's look at our options. We have quite a bit close. So willpower is this little armor dude with like a triangle thingy. So we're going to go ahead and select armor dude with the triangle thingy. I'm going to go up here and grab the rare node Arrogance because it gives damage reduction from vulnerable enemies and some strength. So we went ahead and grabbed that. We're going to grab this willpower that takes us up to 15 of 25. Gonna go here to take this willpower and 2% physical damage over time. That is nice. And we're gonna grab this willpower and this strength. I'm gonna go down for this other rare node because it's really close, so why not? And we get some vulnerable damage along the way, which I am a fan of that. We're gonna grab this bad boy. Demolish, vulnerable damage, and strength, which is always great. More vulnerable damage. We're gonna grab this even though it's outside the radius because I like vulnerable damage. And then let's see, we're activated. Good. Now, I don't recommend spending a ton more points before moving on once you've activated your glyph. If you can get additional benefit in your glyph bonus, sure, go ahead, or in your glyph itself, keep adding, and that radius will expand. It will become easier later. So you get the idea. Now that we've done that, we're just going to go ahead and go on and activate our next board. And let me check my d4builds.gg build where I have it saved. We're going to go up towards... Oh, Warbringer is my next build. Awesome. My next board. We're going to go ahead and aim towards the attachment gate. Now, to make this easier for ourselves, we're just going to go the most direct path. This gives us willpower, strength. This gives us damage reduction from vulnerable enemies, strength, willpower. I'm going to go this way. We focus on a lot of vulnerable and bleeding damage in this build, and there's no point not just to beeline it straight on up here, and then again with the board attachment. So you can see that it's really not too bad, guys. So I don't want to keep you here and keep on going through this, but I figured at least going through these first couple boards would be super helpful. I'm going to go in and finish my last board myself, but choose which boards you like. Go through and look at them all. Don't just look at the previews. Go in, rotate it, see what they physically like as you're putting together the puzzle pieces, and it's really not that bad. And the most important thing is when you get these glyphs, absolutely make sure you have activated them and level them up to increase the radius. Getting to level 15 and focusing down a glyph is so important. You don't want to get like me, where I started leveling one glyph and then not the next, and like you can see Wrath right here sitting at level 6 and Exploit sitting at level 12, I could already have Exploit at level 15, which would be increasing that radius, and then increasing the radius here, and you can see that'll make a big difference. And again, if you want, go for legendary nodes, but for me, oftentimes I'm using the rare nodes, the glyphs, the magic nodes, the bonuses, to get that increased damage and focus down those stats you want. Now, when you're leveling those glyphs, it is going to be best for you to go in on your, let me take you on over here, occultist, and you're going to go to your sigils. So you can craft and salvage sigils. You will get sigils as drops when you're doing nightmare dungeons, and if you get ones that are basically have descriptions in that you don't like or negatives you don't like, you can go in here and you can shard them. You can break them down for materials, and then you can craft more, and you can craft within a range. These are all gonna say their tier. Now their tier means 54 plus the tier number. So let's say you had a tier 10 nightmare sigil, that would be level 64 mobs, and so on all the way up. And in general, you want to craft one that's going to have the mobs 3 levels above your character. Higher than that is good too, and the higher the level of the sigil for the nightmare dungeon that you go in and do, the more it's going to level that glyph up for you, and the faster you'll get your glyphs level 15. So I think that's really just about everything that you can do with your Paragon board. So it's really not that bad. You have a starting board, you have additional boards, you can rotate them, you have normal nodes, magic nodes, rare nodes, legendary nodes, glyph sockets, and board attachment gates. Board selection, just focus on what you actually want on the board. Don't get distracted by those legendary nodes if it's not one you want. And level up your glyphs and activate your glyphs. And if you guys do that, you're going to be doing better than 99% of people out there when they're using their Paragon boards. And don't be afraid to go out and look at examples. Find people you like watching their streams. Find people that write good articles. Look at what they've done and see what they're doing that you like. See what they're doing that you don't like, and compile your build. And I think you guys will be pretty happy with the end result, especially when you see that increase on those damage numbers going across your board. So until next time, I appreciate you guys being here. Definitely like and subscribe, and if you made it this far, thank you. And I hope it was helpful. If you have any other useful tips and tricks for Paragon boards, feel free and put them in the comments below. If your damage went up, definitely like and subscribe and tell me about it in the comments below. And hopefully I will see you around on the channel as I make more videos going forward. And thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day and do well in Diablo 4. Bye for now, guys.